Okay, I just realized, I'm sorry to those of you who came to my live hangout that I was supposed to do once. Like I was experimenting because I was having problems with my knitting club on my other channel. And oh, it's freezing. It's freezing. This is Florida. So I was having problems with that darn knitting club that I wanted to do on my other channel. I've got some cream here. I'm putting cream on. It's Jergens. It's really nice. It smells so good. It smells like almonds, the Jergens. You know, this is the same Jergens that's been for sale since I was a little girl. That same smell, same everything. It's soft, you know, it's soft. It doesn't irritate your skin, or at least not my skin. It's got lanolin in it. The fragrance, I guess, is like an almond fragrance. It smells so good. I love it. Okay, back to what I was discussing. So I was having all these problems with that knitting club. I would set up the plan to launch the knitting club with the chat. And the 2 times that I had planned it really well, I was all ready, I couldn't launch it. The green button that appears at the bottom of Google Hangout wouldn't appear. And I would go around in circles. I found it in events over on my Google Plus. And so I wanted to do an experiment here on this channel with it to see what I was doing wrong. But it's not happening on this channel. It's happening on my other channel. And now I wonder if it's because that's the dehumidifier. My house is a mess today. I know. I usually try to make it look a little neater when I'm about to film. I've been cold. I've been a little down in the dumps. I haven't worked this week. I didn't get temp work this week. So I've mainly been at home kind of working on my website stuff, you know, my blog and my shop. And I should stick to one topic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you what I was going to tell you. Oh, I want to apologize because I was experimenting. I decided to try to schedule it a chat, a Google Hangout on this channel and see if the same thing happened. And it didn't happen, but I never ended up doing the Google Hangout. I'm doing it now, like I don't know how much later. And I'm going to turn off the dehumidifier. See, I put it in because I took a shower. And when you take a shower, there's a lot of humidity. So I like to put it in the bathroom. I've got a ladder in here. That's my father's ladder. See, I'm in my parents' garage apartment. So before I moved in here, this is where my father used to store his ladders and his tools and his, you know, lawnmower. He doesn't have a lawnmower anymore. But, you know, all his garden stuff. And this was like a tool shed. And then when I came back, they had to move all the tools. It's basically out in the open in the backyard. I mean, he got a nice plastic box from Home Depot, which is like an outdoor storage box. So a lot of the stuff is in there. But like the ladder's out there, and when it rains or whatever, it starts to rust. So I feel kind of guilty. So there, I brought it inside. And I use it. I'm throwing stuff on it, you know, clothes, or I use it as a shelf for things, or coffee cup sometimes. I put it by the bed. I was trying to hide it. I mean, I did try to hide it before starting the video, but I didn't push it out of the way when it is. Anyway, I've got to move out. I've got to really, sometimes it's hard to just get on track, but I still have to make one more trip to South America. I'm going to do it in March, like for 2 weeks. And then when I get back, you know, it's still stuff related to my marriage. And, oh, it's so annoying. I really don't feel like going, but I don't feel like wasting the money. You know, it costs an arm and a leg for a trip. It just only go for 2 weeks. It's kind of silly, but you know, so I'm spending more than I'm earning at this point. So I've really got to just, when I get back, I'm also not denying myself things I want to do. I'm going to Atlanta the beginning of April because a friend of mine is turning 50 and he's having a party, and I've got to pay for a hotel, which I'm going to be splitting with another friend. So it'll be a little less. I went to my high school reunion. So, it's not like I haven't been spending on other things. I don't spend on clothes or a lot of other fancy stuff, but I have this year spent on trips and on my dental work. So I really just gotta, when I get back from this trip to South America that I have to do, I'm gonna, Atlanta's on a weekend, so I can still start getting a steady work. But of course, it's on a Friday. Well, I'll tell you, I just got to get a real job and just stick with it and stop, beating around the ring around the rosy. And the good thing is when I work in an office, I have that stability and that consistency. It's like I have to go here from 9 to 5 every day, and I feel more stable, even if I'm not earning a lot of money, because I'm not. At temping, I hardly earn anything, but it really is good for me as far as that, consistency. Some people don't need structure. Some people flourish when they don't have structure, but I kind of crave freedom. But when I lose that structure of having to do something every day, I start to go kind of in circles, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just like, I feel like I'm spinning my wheels and not getting anywhere. So that's what I'm going to have to do. And then when I have that 9 to 5 structure, though, like with temping, it's good because then I crave the freedom. So I've had jobs before, and I've lasted, the longest job I've ever stayed in was in DC. I stayed in a job for 4 years, which is, for me, that's the longest I've ever stayed in a job. Other than that, it's been like a year, maybe a year and a half. I'll get a job. It'll be a permanent job with benefits. I'll be getting paid decent, at least in the past. I don't know what it's like now. I haven't had a steady job in a long time, but you think, well, what more could I want? I've got steady paycheck. I can actually live off of it. I've got benefits. When you don't have a steady job, you got to pay insurance out of your pocket, and it's expensive, even with this Obamacare stuff. Right now, my father's helping me pay it, my insurance. And some of it even goes towards Social Security retirement, which isn't much, but it's always helpful to you have a 401k, which is what I actually had a 401k from the job I had a few years ago, and I'm actually been, I had saved what little I had saved up during that time. I wasn't in the job very long, but it was like a little amount that I had saved up, which I'm now living on. I'm fortunately don't have to pay rent and bills and stuff, but I still need, I'm going on these trips and paying my dental work, which I got that on my credit card. I have a 0% care credit card, which is helpful because at least if I just pay the minimum, at least for the first year, they're not going to charge interest. After that, if I don't pay it off within the year, there's going to be interest added. So right now I'm paying more than the minimum, with my temp job, but I'm still not going to have it paid off in a year if I keep going at this rate. And I don't want to end up paying interest on it. So I got to get my act together. And then, like, as soon as I get a steady job, just write off the first few paychecks, just spend every penny and pay that off, because I don't like to be in debt. And up until the dental work, I had actually been able to keep myself out of debt. I took the trip up to my reunion, but I actually paid that off, temping, and just, again, like every penny I got out of temping, I just paid off the credit card. So because I'm in that fortunate position where I don't have to pay rent and bills right now. But it's really getting, my mother was even kind of hinting that maybe I should get a life and move out. Not that she wants me to move out because she doesn't like me being here, but it's more like you're you're not doing anything. You're just spinning your wheels and you're not doing anything. So, you know, I don't respect myself even, you know, and I'm not trying that hard. I mean, if it were like, oh my gosh, I'm looking for work, I'm just trying so hard and I can't find work, then you could say, okay, you could feel sorry for me. But I haven't really even been trying. I've kind of gotten into a point where it's like, I got a roof over my head, I got food, I'll just work the minimum, you know, temping. And I have been trying to do more with my internet stuff, but there's no way I'm ever going to make a living off of that. That's just like extra change every month, which is nice, but I have to have a real job. So, but it's funny how that gives, even though it's not much, my blog and my YouTube and all that is what gives me more, not this channel, but my clothing. That's what gives me more self-esteem than anything else. I mean, if I didn't have that, I would really not feel any pride at all in my life right now. And I've been this way for about 3 years. It's not like it's just happened. I've just gotten divorced. It's been 3 years. I mean, by now, 3 years ago, I would have thought that by now I would have been completely over everything. I mean, even the emotional stuff and divorces drag on. Even the legal stuff is over with. It's done with. But then like all this stuff, I mean, some people take longer than others, but I think I'm even taking longer than a normal person should. So that's it. I just have to, I've already started making some moves towards getting out of this slump, but I still have to, I didn't mean to ramble. I actually was just coming on here to apologize for not doing this that I said I was going to be doing. Because I know some people came and I saw their, you know who you are. You put some comments in the chat and I felt bad. So, all right, so I'm going to turn this off because I'm just rambling. I'm in a rambling point in my life. Sometimes I'll go for a month, or I think I've even gone 2 months without rambling to someone. But if I don't ramble here, I ramble like to some people in text form, which takes a long time. So, all right, guys, I have a bad posture. Okay, I got my pajamas on. Look at this. It's like 1 in the afternoon. I've still got my pajamas on. This is terrible. It's a sweater over pajamas. Maybe if I wouldn't have told you, you wouldn't have known. I've got sweats on. Yeah, this is sad. No, this is sad. You know, help me, guys. Write in the comments. Like, get me to get myself in gear. All right, thanks. Bye. Where's the button? I'm not wearing my glasses. Okay. Did that turn off yet? Like, oh, jeepers. All right, there we go.